study, work, retire, die. That's how most people think of their personal life cycle. Sort of 20 years, 40 years, 20 years, over, thank you very much. But what happens if we are going to live a lot longer than the current global average of 80 years? What happens if our life cycle is 100 or 120 or even 150 years? How do we change that cycle? Well, one option is to just elongate each of those sections. There are a lot of people doing this already. Today's young people are studying longer, staying at home with their parents well into their 20s, even 30s. Then maybe we work longer, retiring later, maybe into our 70s or 80s, and then extend retirement and then it's over. That's one way to think about it. But my name's Graeme Codrington and I'm your tour guide to the future, and I've got a different suggestion. What about we study, we do some work, then we do retirement number one, a mini retirement. Maybe towards the end of your 40s, you finish up the work that you've been doing, take a little bit of a break, a mini retirement if you like. Then why don't you go back to study again and start the cycle once again? So you study, you then do another little bit of work, you then retire again, second time around. Now you may be into your 60s or early 70s. I reckon you could probably do 3 of these cycles, maybe even 4, before you say, right, finally, I've got the last few years of full retirement at the end. I know some universities who are actually thinking about this, looking at what it would take to attract people in their 50s and early 60s back to university. You don't have to take 3 years, 4 years to do a professional degree anymore because you're in a different stage of life. You've got a different approach and a different work ethic. You've also got an entire chunk of knowledge that you can call on. So we've got to rethink what that mid-career education and reboot of a new career cycle might look like. Yeah, I don't think this is as crazy as it sounds, and I think if we imagine that we are going to live longer, we then can imagine that the world and the options we have for our lives and careers might look very different as well. Career cycles rather than just elongating the existing cycle. I think that's something to think about.